Leo was dairying, but he had a small quota. He was just after taking over the farm shortly after the quotas were introduced, so that really meant that we couldn't expand very much in the dairying here, and hence he was on the lookout, but didn't say. I was naive enough to believe that he was a big farmer, and he one Friday evening on the Celt, he noticed an ad for small free-range egg producers, and we applied, and we got our first 150 hens that actually eventually became the sole farm income. Yeah, well, from the very first hens we got here, while initially I thought, oh my God, more work for Margaret, and I know nothing about hens, but from the first hens we had a few hens around the yard for right from we got married, but in 87, when we got the first 150 hens for commercial purposes, they became equally individual friends to me and to us as the half dozen that had been there before them. So just watching their little habits and watching how they enjoyed the freedom and all of that gave us a sense of feeling like a hen, nearly thinking like a hen and feeling like a hen. I remember one time going to the hen house. This was before we got the 150, and we had a little bantam at the time, and she was missing, and I came back across the yard and I said to Leo, the bantam's gone, and he said, the darn fox. So anyway, we thought that was it, but in fact she had made a little nest hidden down behind something that was in the corner in the hen house, and she'd laid 2 eggs and she was trying to hatch them out. And I remember thinking, when I discovered that, about 3 days later she came out for feed and I discovered where she was, and I remember thinking, oh, she's going to be really disappointed that after all, maybe it was the mother in me or whatever, but after sitting so diligently on these eggs to bring out little chicks, there wasn't going to be any. So Leo said, sure, let's get half dozen day olds and sneak them in under her, and she'll take to them. And she did. And that was a marvellous lesson for me, watching how she trained them, I think they call it imprinting. But they were just amazing, and she chatted to them and they knew her voice and she knew theirs, and no way would she go back to the hen house every evening without the 6 of them. And as they got older, she could fly into the rafters and they couldn't, and that really made her angry. And I thought, they really are just like ourselves.